In Tokyo, a family of 4 lives comfortably in less than 400 square feet. No storage unit rented across town. No major renovation. No expensive space-saving furniture from a design catalog. Just a different way of thinking about what a home is actually for. And here's the thing that surprises most visitors. The apartment doesn't feel small. It feels intentional. So the question isn't, how do Japanese people fit so much into so little space? The question is, why does the space feel bigger than it should? Today, 5 answers to that question. And idea 3 might be the one that changes how you see your home permanently. Because it has nothing to do with buying storage. It has everything to do with what your eyes see first when you walk into a room. Let's get into it. Idea 1. Stop treating empty space like a problem to solve. Think about your natural instinct. An empty wall. You want something on it. An empty corner. You want to fill it. A clear shelf. You feel like something should be sitting there. So slowly, without realizing it, every inch of the room gets occupied. And then one day you look around and think, why does this place feel so cramped? The problem usually isn't the size of the room. It's visual density. Your eyes are processing too many objects at once. And your brain reads that as crowded. Japanese interiors often leave intentional breathing room between objects. Not because they can't afford more things, but because they understand that empty space isn't doing nothing. It's making everything around it feel more valuable. Think about a luxury hotel room. It doesn't fill every surface to feel expensive. It uses space deliberately. And your home can do the same. So here's your first experiment. Choose one surface today. A coffee table. A kitchen counter. A shelf. Remove everything that doesn't have a clear purpose there. Don't replace it with something else. Leave the space open. Then stand at the doorway and look. The room hasn't physically grown. But your brain will likely read it as less crowded. Because you didn't add more room. You reduced the visual noise. And those two things can feel exactly the same. Idea 2. Make every piece of furniture earn its floor space. Here's where small apartments quietly lose the battle. One oversized sofa. A massive coffee table. A giant TV unit. Extra chairs for guests who visit twice a year. Storage furniture that stores things nobody uses. Each item seems useful on its own. Together, they create a traffic problem. You're walking around your furniture instead of through your home. Japanese small space design asks a different question. Before anything enters the room, what does this piece actually do for daily life? Not occasionally. Daily. A low table that can be moved when needed. A bed that doesn't dominate the entire room. A compact dining setup. Furniture that serves more than one purpose. And here's a rule worth keeping. Before buying anything new for a small home, ask one question. If this enters my home, what specific problem does it solve? If the answer is vague, don't buy it yet. Because small homes don't become comfortable by fitting more things inside. They become comfortable when every object has earned the right to be there. Idea 3. Protect the path your eyes travel first. Stand at the entrance of your room right now. Look toward the opposite wall. Can your eyes move through the space without constantly landing on objects? If not, your home may feel smaller than it actually is. And here's the psychology behind why this matters. In traditional Japanese homes, there's a concept built into the architecture itself. It's called engawa. A transitional space. A deliberate pause between the outside world and the private world inside. Not a hallway crammed with shoes, bags, and coats. A breathing space. A signal to the brain. You are entering somewhere different now. Modern apartments can't always create a physical angua, but they can protect the principle behind it. When movement through your home feels effortless, the brain reads the space as comfortable. When you have to squeeze between chairs, step around bags, or move things to open a drawer, the brain registers the space as complicated. So tonight, don't reorganize everything. Simply walk through your home normally. Notice where you slow down, where you turn sideways, where you have to move something just to reach something else. That's your friction zone. Fix just one. Move one piece of furniture. Clear one path. Remove one obstacle. You may discover the room wasn't too small. You just didn't have a clear way through it. Idea 4. Use your walls before you use more floor space. When a home feels cramped, the first instinct is usually to buy a cabinet. But every cabinet takes something extremely valuable from a small home. Floor space. Japanese homes have long understood that vertical space is underused in most apartments. Shelves, hooks, wall-mounted storage, tall, narrow furniture that uses height instead of width. The idea is simple. When the floor is limited, look upward. But here's the important catch. Most people miss. Vertical storage can also make a room feel smaller if you cover every wall with objects. So the goal isn't to use every inch of the wall. It's to move the things you genuinely need off the floor without creating another visual mess at eye level. One dedicated hook near the entrance. Instead of bags on a chair. One narrow shelf. Instead of items spread across a counter. A taller, slimmer storage option. Instead of a wide, heavy cabinet. And one rule that keeps it useful. Frequently used things stay easy to reach. Rarely used things go higher or farther away. Your home becomes easier to use without starting to feel like a storage facility. Idea 5. Let one room do more than one job. This is perhaps the most powerful small space idea on this list. And it's also the most distinctly Japanese. Traditional Japanese homes were never designed around permanent rooms for single activities. The same space transformed throughout the day. Eating, working, relaxing, sleeping. The room didn't change. The way the space was used changed. Japanese design has a principle for this. Katachi. Form follows function. Not the other way around. Most modern apartments waste space by doing the opposite. We permanently assign one purpose to every room, even when we only use that function for an hour or two a day. The desk sits there all day, even when nobody is working. The dining table stays cluttered with yesterday's things, even when nobody is eating. The room becomes frozen in a single purpose. Instead of frozen, design your room to be fluid. Work mode, meal mode, relaxation mode. Furniture that can move. Objects that can fold away. A room that resets between uses. Because the feeling of spaciousness doesn't only come from having more room. It comes from having fewer things competing for the same space at the same time. And here's the idea that quietly connects all 5. Your home shouldn't be a collection of permanent zones. It should be a space that adapts to your actual life. So before you start looking for a bigger apartment, stand at the entrance of the home you have. Ask yourself one honest question. Is this space actually too small? Or is it simply being asked to do too much? With too many things in the wrong places? Because more often than not, the apartment isn't the problem. The way the space is being used is. And that is entirely within your control. Which of these 5 ideas would make the biggest difference in your home right now? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. And if someone you know keeps saying their apartment is too small, when what they really need is a different way of using the space they already have, send this to them. Because sometimes the most useful thing you can offer someone is a different way of seeing the room they're already standing in.